Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the Lee Jae-myung, the President of Korea. Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is David Kim. I'm the CEO for the Hanwha Philly Shipyard. It is a tremendous honor to be able to have you here with us today and welcome you for the naming of the NSMV-3, the state of Maine. This is a proud moment, not just for all of us here, but for us at the Hanwha Philly Shipyard, and especially meaningful since it is the first naming ceremony under our new name. With the acquisition by Hanwha last December, we've opened a bold new chapter based on global capabilities, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to U.S. shipbuilding excellence and jobs. I'm thrilled to be joined by an incredible set of individuals who represent the best of both our countries as well as our partners who have all made this happen and help us to achieve this milestone. With us today, in the speaking order, Dongwan D.K. Kim, Hanwha Vice Chairman, Lee Jae-myung, President of Korea, Josh Shapiro, the Governor of Pennsylvania, Senator Todd Young from Indiana, Congressman Mary Gay Scanlon, Sang Yi, Acting Marriott Administrator, Jeff Dixon, President, Tote Services, and Craig Johnson, President, Maine Maritime Academy. Please welcome our distinguished guests. And last but not least, I do want to offer a special thanks to our sponsor for the ship, former Secretary Elaine Chao, who was instrumental in awarding the contract for this yard. Secretary Chao, I had the honor of having dinner with you and get to know you a little bit yesterday. Your belief in the program for the NSMV and in the yard was instrumental in bringing us to where we are today. Your decisions changed the trajectory for the yard for the years past, but also for the years to come. So we thank you. Now, let's get to the reason why we're all here. In maritime tradition, the naming ceremony is more than just a formality. It is a belief that the name bestows not only good luck, but protection for the ship as well as all those on board. The ceremony we're about to witness today is not just a ritual, but it is rich in history as well as symbolism. And to begin, I will ask you to all stand and remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Maine Maritime Academy Color Guard, as well as followed by the national anthems, both for the United States as well as Korea. Please stand. Color Guard, please post the colors. And now for the U.S. National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. And now for the Korean national anthem. 극계에 대한 경례.
동해물과 백두산이 마르고 닳도록 하느님이 보호하사 우리나라 만세 무궁화 삼천리 화려강산 대한 사람 대한으로 길이 보전하세.
Thank you. Please be seated. It's now my honor to introduce a leader whose vision and commitment has helped bring us here today. Everyone, please welcome Dongwan DK Kim.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Hanwha Philly Shipyard, and thank you for joining us on this important occasion. A special thank you to all of the dignitaries from government and our industry partners as well. It is my great honor to welcome President Lee Jae-myung of the Republic of Korea to the Hanwha Philly Shipyard. We are deeply grateful for the leadership of President Lee and President Trump around shipbuilding, which is strengthening the alliance between the Republic of Korea and the United States. I would also like to recognize MARAD Administrator Yi and former Secretary Chow, whose support of the National Security Multi-Mission Vessel Program underscores the importance of America's shipbuilding industry and the maritime workforce. We are also fortunate to be joined and supported by many champions of American shipbuilding and this shipyard. Governor Josh Shapiro, Congresswoman Mary Gay Scallon, who represent the yard, Congressman Donald Norcross, representing many of our workers across the river in New Jersey, Senator Todd Young, sponsor of the SHIPS Act, and Mayor Cheryl Parker of Philadelphia are all with us today. We also wish Senator David McCormick could be with us here today, as he has been a strong advocate for us as well. Their leadership and commitment reflect the deep and bipartisan support that underpins the strength of this yard and America's maritime future. Today's christening of the state of Maine is more than just a ceremony and more than an acknowledgement of this shipyard's successful completion of the third NSMV. It is the embodiment of our two nations working side by side to reindustrialize for the sake of shared security and prosperity. We are creating good manufacturing jobs, building the world's most advanced ships, and fostering a new skilled workforce right here in America. The state of Maine represents all of this, a modern, world-class vessel built to train the future mariners of the United States and to ensure America's maritime readiness for generations to come. This is just the beginning. Hanwha is committed to being a partner in building the next chapter of American shipbuilding. Together with our partners in the United States and following both President Trump's and President Lee's vision to revitalize the maritime industry, we look forward to new investments, new opportunities, and to playing a central role in making American shipbuilding great again. And now, it is my privilege and honor to invite President Lee Jae-myung to deliver his remarks.
존경하는 한국과 미국의 기업인 여러분, 함께해 주신 귀빈 여러분, 그리고 필리 조선소에서 근무하시는 양국의 노동자 여러분, 모두 반갑습니다. 먼저 한화 필리 조선소의 새로운 출항을 알릴 훈련함 스테이트 오브 메인호의 명명식을 진심으로 축하드립니다. 이곳 필라델피아는 19세기 이후 오랫동안 미국 조선업의 중심지였던 것으로 압니다. 필리 조선소는 1801년 미국 해군 조선소로 문을 연 이래 200년이 넘는 유구한 역사를 가지고 있습니다. 2차 세계대전의 승리를 이끈 50여 척의 군함이 이곳에서 탄생했고 500여 척의 함정이 이곳의 손길을 거쳐 다시 바다로 나아갔습니다. 5만 명의 역군들이 이곳에서 일하며 미국의 바다를 지켜냈습니다. 필라델피아의 앞바다를 가르며 나아간 함정들은 한국 전쟁의 포화 속에서 고통받던 대한민국 국민들을 구해냈습니다. 필라델피아의 함정들이 구해낸 대한민국의 위대한 국민들은 전쟁의 폐허를 딛고 뜨거운 용광로와 식지 않은 땀방울 속에서 나라의 미래를 설계해냈습니다. 희망의 새 나라를 건설하겠다던 우리 국민들의 강력한 의지가 강철에 스며들고 파도에 실려 조선, 강국, 대한민국이라는 신화를 만들어냈습니다. 그렇게 탄생한 대한민국의 조선업이 이제 미국의 해양 안보를 강화하고 미국 조선업 부활에 기여하는 새로운 도전의 길에 나서게 됩니다. 동맹국의 대통령으로서 대단히 기쁘게 생각합니다. 제가 트럼프 대통령께 제안한 미국의 조선업을 다시 위대하게 만드는 프로젝트는 단지 거대한 군함과 최첨단 선박을 건조하겠다는 비전만이 아닙니다. 사라진 꿈을 회복하겠다는 거대한 비전입니다. 대한민국 역사에서 조선 산업이 수많은 한국 청년들에게 성장과 기회, 꿈과 희망의 이름이었던 것처럼 필리 조선소 또한 미국 청년들에게 같은 이름으로 기억될 것입니다. 한화 오션이 필리 조선소에 투자한 이후 수많은 미국 견습생들이 이곳 필리 조선소로 모여들고 있다고 합니다. 조선 강국의 꿈이 필라델피아의 청년들 속에서 다시 자라나고 있습니다. 세계 제1의 저력과 역량을 마주한 필리 조선소는 최첨단 선박 기술을 보여주는 미국 최고의 조선소로 거듭날 것이고 미국 해안벨트 곳곳에서 조선업이 다시 살아날 것입니다. 한국의 조선소들은 미국 조선소에 투자하고 우수한 인력을 양성하는 한편으로 현대화된 공정기술이 미국에 뿌리 내릴 수 있도록 도울 것입니다. 미국 조선업과 대한민국 조선업이 함께 도약하는 윈윈의 성과를 만들어낼 것이고 오늘의 새로운 출항은 한미 양국이 단단한 우정으로 써내려가는 또 하나의 희망과 도전의 역사로 기록될 것입니다. 한미 양국의 기업인과 노동자 여러분, 인류에게 바다는 언제나 도전과 기회의 공간이었습니다. 세계를 무대로 펼쳐질 마스가 프로젝트는 대한민국과 미국이 함께 항해할 새로운 기회로 가득한 바다의 새 이름입니다. 그리고 그 도전의 주역은 바로 이 자리에 함께 하신 여러분 자신입니다. 지금으로부터 50년 전 대한민국의 기업인과 노동자들이 허허 벌판 위에 K조선의 기적을 일궈냈던 것처럼 이제 한국과 미국이 힘을 모아 마스가의 기적을 현실로 빚어냅시다. 이곳 필리 조선소를 통해 72년 역사의 한미 동맹은 안보 동맹, 경제 동맹, 기술 동맹이 합쳐진 미래형 포괄적 전략 동맹의 새 장을 열게 될 것입니다. 가슴 벅찬 마음으로 우리의 새로운 미래를 기다리며 스테이트 오브 메인호의 안전한 항해와 함께하신 여러분 모두의 건강을 기원합니다. 감사합니다.
Next up is Josh Shapiro, the Governor of Pennsylvania.
Good afternoon. President Lee, I want to welcome you to the city of Philadelphia, the birthplace of American freedom and democracy. It was right here that our nation began its journey, and it's been here in this city, at our naval shipyard, that we've built the American fleets that have protected our freedoms at home and abroad around the world since 1776. Today, Mr. President, with your visit and with the dedication of the great workers here at Hanwha, we are now writing the next chapter in that story of American freedom and democracy. It is fitting that our two nations, which share such strong ties, will write this next chapter together. And it begins right here in Pennsylvania, right here in the city of Philadelphia, Madam Mayor. We are proud that our Commonwealth is home to over 52,000 Korean Americans, and that South Korea is a significant trading partner, employing thousands of Pennsylvanians at great companies like Hanwha. Pennsylvania is open for business, and we want to grow our economy and attract more investment from Korea all across industries, from life sciences to manufacturing to, of course, shipbuilding. We are particularly excited about the significant investments that Hanwha is making right here at the Navy Yard. Because of your partnership and your commitment to Philadelphia, we are poised for dramatic growth right here in this shipyard. And the Commonwealth has invested millions of dollars in the Navy Yard, which will help maximize Hanwha's investment. We are also eager to work with you to locate more of your operations here in Pennsylvania. I want you to know, under Secretary Seiger's leadership, we have created the Pennsylvania Hanwha Leadership Task Force. We call that the PHL Task Force, which will help expedite permits, build a strong pipeline of skilled labor, ensure local and regional partners are working together, and put Hanwha in a position to succeed here in Philly and to build these ships fast. As President Lee and I discussed in our meeting earlier this afternoon, we are both leaders who focus on 3 letters in our work, GSD. We focus on getting stuff done. And that is what we will do right here at the Hanwha Philly Shipyard, too. Together, we can grow to more than 5,000 jobs here and dramatically increase the number of ships that are built right here each year, including a significant number of great-paying union jobs as well. When I met with David here last month, I appreciated just how close of a working relationship management here at Hanwha has with our unions. Philly is a union town, and Hanwha and President Lee understand that. I appreciate how the President has been devoted to organized labor and worker rights in his country, and you will see that same spirit here in the Philadelphia Shipyard. President Lee, thank you for visiting the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I appreciate your partnership. And to DK Kim and the leadership here at Hanwha, thank you for helping us build on our legacy of shipbuilding, taking an industry that has had its roots right here since 1776 and ensuring that the future of American shipbuilding runs right through Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Next up, Senator Todd Young.
President Young, thank you for honoring us with your presence. Governor Shapiro, Mayor, distinguished guests. Let's make American ships again, and let's do it with the help of our friends, South Koreans. Those of us in Congress are doing our part to realize President Trump's vision of restoring American maritime dominance. We're doing it in a bipartisan fashion. In fact, I deliver words to you on behalf of myself, Congressman Kelly, Senator Kelly, and Congressman Garamendi. And together, we aim to advance the Ships for America Act in coming weeks or perhaps months. But we're going to do it with your support. Folks, it is important that we supercharge this initiative, this announcement here today across the entire country, so that we can once again restore America's economic security and our national security. In Congress, we plan on giving the administration the tools and the resources to do just that. We will do it by inviting in more private capital to revitalize our shipyards. We will do it by standing up more workforce training programs, including union labor, to ensure that we have the skilled labor to build these vessels. We will do it by training more merchant mariners so that we can move U.S. cargo on U.S. flagged and U.S. crewed vessels. We will do it by putting more of these vessels in American water and American shipyards. So I am proud to be here today. I am proud to see this broader initiative continue to advance. Count on Republicans and Democrats alike to see this across the finish line. God bless.
Thank you. And next, our local friend and Congresswoman, Mary Gay Scanlon.
You know, I never miss one of these. I'm thrilled to be here today. It's an honor to welcome President Lee, Governor Shapiro, and all of today's guests to the Philadelphia Shipyard, and to join you in the christening of the state of Maine, the third of 5 new purpose-built, state-of-the-art training vessels for America's state maritime academies. Earlier today, I had the pleasure of joining President Lee to visit the Philip Jason House in Media. Jason lived here in this region and in Delaware County, and he was one of the founders of the Korean Republic. It's an enduring testimony to our nation's shared commitment to democracy and the long history of this region in the Republic of Korea's fight for independence. Hanwha Philadelphia Shipyard is the latest step in this relationship. Hanwha's investment in the shipyard furthers the economic, political, and military ties that bind our two nations. Philadelphia's naval history goes back to the founding of our country. It's the birthplace of the U.S. Navy, and later this year we will host celebrations for the Navy's 250th birthday. From the Revolutionary War until the 1990s, Philadelphia was home to one of the largest naval shipbuilders in our nation. We heard during World War II there were tens of thousands of workers here in the Philadelphia shipyard. But that flagged over time. For a time it seemed like that great legacy was behind us. But in recent years we've all worked together, state, local, federal, private industry, and our armed forces and our maritime academies. And now with the help from Hanwha, we can build upon Philadelphia's shipbuilding heritage for the future. This is very much a full circle moment for me. In 2018, when I took office, there were approximately 60 employees in this shipyard. Today, it's over 1,800. It's amazing. This place was quiet, now it's bustling. I was also thrilled that Secretary Chow could join us today because she had such an essential role in bringing the shipyard the contract for the 5 multi-mission maritime training vessels. I don't know if she recalls, but I did lobby her in an elevator once, and we were so excited when we received that contract and to see each of these ships moving forward. We also celebrate the apprentice program, which has been growing by leaps and bounds. Every time I come down here, there's a new class, and people are so excited at the opportunities they see. So right now, shipbuilding is one of our most pressing national security and industrial challenges, and Hanwha and the Republic of Korea have been committed partners to helping the U.S. re-energize a healthy, competitive domestic shipbuilding sector. Simply put, the U.S. must make more ships, and there's no better place to do that than right here in Philadelphia. Just over 100 years ago, Philadelphia helped give birth to the Republic of Korea by hosting the first Korean Congress. So it's with particular pride that we welcome President Lee and Hanwha to Philadelphia to help spur the rebirth of our shipbuilding industry. So with that, thank you to everyone here, our dignitaries, thank you to TOTE and the Maritime Administration, and thank you to all the workers here for another successful delivery of the state of Maine. Thank you.
Next up, Sang Yi, Acting Merit Administrator.
Good afternoon. Unfortunately, Secretary Duffy sends his regrets. He had hoped to attend with Secretary Chavez de Remer and Ambassador Greer, but they were held up in a cabinet meeting that went a little longer than anticipated, so they were not able to attend on time here. But I want to start by thanking President Lee for being here today. His presence demonstrates Korea's commitment to contribute to the expansion of America's shipyards. It's an honor to join so many distinguished top government officials and leaders in our maritime industry in this tent today. The U.S. maritime industry and shipbuilding is making a comeback. We clearly have a new era thanks to President Trump and Secretary Duffy. President Trump has made it clear that American exceptionalism is the standard. And thanks to Secretary Duffy's leadership, the Department of Transportation is focused, energized, and delivering results right here in American shipyards. And as a licensed mariner and a proud graduate of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy myself, I know firsthand the profound value of the maritime industry and the critical importance of training the next generation who will carry it forward. Sometimes the movement of goods seems a little routine, but our U.S. flagged fleet and the men and women who build, operate, and support it form a lifeline critical to our national security, economic strength, and American competitiveness. Since taking on the role of acting administrator of the Maritime Administration, I've repeated time and time again that our focus needs to be clear. People, ships, cargo, and ports. The state of Maine is one of the 5 national security multi-mission vessels that will train the next generation of American mariners. And that's why we're here today, to focus on building ships and investing in people as we christen her today. And the construction of these vessels, this class of vessels, by the way, has created more than 400,000 jobs. And this ship represents a lot more than just steel and engineering. It stands as a symbol of American commitment to dominance, economic strength, and national readiness. The state of Maine, we're not just launching a vessel. We're launching opportunities. Opportunities for cadets at Maine Maritime Academy to train on state-of-the-art equipment, opportunities to rapidly respond to humanitarian crises, and opportunities to restore American leadership in shipbuilding and sea power. The Department of Transportation and Merit are proud to lead this effort. Using the innovative vessel construction manager model, we've delivered this ship with just less than 30 change orders. That's almost unheard of in shipbuilding, especially in government shipbuilding. That efficiency has saved taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars and years of time. This is how we rebuild an industry, by unleashing innovation, cutting red tape, making smart investments, and forging strong partnerships. The United States used to be one of the world's largest shipbuilders. Today, the U.S. share of the market has declined to just than 0.1%. In 2022, U.S. shipyards produced just 5 large commercial vessels. China built nearly 1,800. Let that sink in. And last year, a single Chinese shipbuilder produced more commercial vessels than the entire U.S. industry since the end of World War II. We cannot lose this fight any longer. But the state of Maine is just the beginning. Under President Trump's leadership, American shipyards can and will produce big, beautiful ships again. So, in closing, I want to remind everyone that this is how we rebuild an industry. We unleash this innovation, and we have strong partnerships, and we cannot do it alone. So to the teams at Hanwha, Tote Services, and Maine Maritime Academy, well done, and thank you for your partnership. To the workers, the welders, the machinists here at this yard, well done. America thanks you for your service. Together, we're not just building ships, we're building the future of American maritime right here at home.
Thank you. Next up, Jeff Dixon, President, Tote Services.
Good afternoon. First, President Lee, distinguished guests, everyone here today, even I see all of you in the back, making this a memorable event, taking the story with you after we conclude today. Extremely valuable as we gather to witness yet another significant milestone in the national security multi-mission vessel program. Of course, we celebrate Maine Maritime Academy's receipt of State of Maine, a state-of-the-art training platform that will provide a world-class cadet training experience. But today's milestone also marks the growth of Hanwha Philly Shipyard and its direct support to the Philadelphia region and economy. The program here has generated hundreds of good-paying American jobs and revitalized the shipbuilding sector right here. By the way, DK, I would give David, his executive team, top scores across the board. Through President Trump's leadership, the NSMV program, underpinned by the vessel construction management process, has changed the way we build ships, reducing costs to the government and the taxpayer, creating more jobs and boosting the economic impact, revitalizing the U.S. shipyard industrial base, strengthening America's national security, and one David reminds me of, the critical element of speeding work to the shipyards. Today, we proudly stand before the third NSMV, a shining example of how applying the best commercial practices to the government shipbuilding programs can deliver unprecedented results, results that can be replicated going forward from today. And so going forward, this, of course, should be a model for all government shipbuilding, from future maritime administration efforts to the Coast Guard and Navy. Simply put, it speeds work to the shipyards. So today, as we celebrate this important milestone, not just for the state of Maine, but for the future of American shipbuilding and America's maritime industry, I thank you for joining us here today.
And finally, Craig Johnson, President of the Maine Maritime Academy.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. It's my honor to stand before you as President of Maine Maritime Academy and to celebrate the naming of the National Security Multi-Mission Vessel 3, the state of Maine. I'm here representing our ship's crew, students, alumni, family, and friends. President Lee, Deputy Administrator Yi, Governor Shapiro, Secretary Chow, who is joined by her father, Dr. James Chow, and her sister May, we are truly honored by your presence on this historic occasion. Thank you. To Secretary Duffy, thank you for your partnership in strengthening maritime education and training, your steadfast commitment to the maritime industry. I would also like to thank Secretary Trump and Secretary Chow for making the NSMV program a reality, one that has already had a significant impact on our industry and increasing the number of merchant mariners. I would be remiss if we did not recognize a great advocate for both Maine and Maine Maritime Academy and the maritime industry as a whole, Senator Susan Collins, whose leadership has made this vessel, her name, her birth, and casting possible. Senator Susan Collins, we honor and thank you today. As we christen the new state of Maine, the fifth vessel to carry this proud name, representing generations of men and women who sailed before, we reaffirm her mission and dedication to the sea and the industry that it sustains. Maine Maritime has a long tradition of producing mariners, and over the last 4 decades, we've also trained shipbuilders, people managing cargo, nuclear, power, marine engineering, business leaders, and scientists. This purpose-built vessel will open new doors to our students, faculty, and staff opportunities anything we've seen in the history of Maine Maritime. To MARAD, our tremendous partner in this, Hanwha, the group CEO King Don Kwan, and CEO David Kim, Tote, President Dixon, the American Bureau of Shipping, thank you Chris Wernicke and John McDonald for being here today. I would also like to thank our permanent ship's crew, Captain MacArthur, Chief Coy and their crew for their tireless efforts, shoulder to shoulder with our partners building this ship. I'd also like to thank previous Deputy Maritime Administrator Richard Balzano and previous Administrator Busby for your efforts more than 8 years ago presenting the foundation of today. The National Security Multi-Mission Vessel has helped reinvigorate Hanwha Philly Shipyard, provide state-of-the-art training for America's next generation of merchant mariners, inspire a surge of applications to the state maritime academies as a whole, and inspire our next line of work. Secretary Chow, it is a true pleasure to welcome you here today. As someone who is present at this program's inception and who has been an advocate for the industry's importance, it is now my great honor to introduce Midshipman First Class Audregard Fields, Regimental Commander at Maine Maritime Academy.
Good afternoon. It is a privilege to stand before you today representing the Regiment of Midshipmen and student body at Maine Maritime Academy. I want to acknowledge the distinguished President Lee of South Korea and the First Lady, state and local officials, leaders from the Maritime Administration, and our partners at Hanwha Philly Shipyard, Tote, and leaders within the industry. Equally important, I want to acknowledge those closest to us as students, my classmates, our professors, the State of Maine crew, and the incredibly strong Maine Maritime Academy family. Each of you are a part of what makes the Maine Maritime experience possible. My studies in Castine, Maine have covered all the practical elements of safe navigation in preparation for my career at sea. Yet, in addition to the hands-on education, MMA has developed in me and my classmates the skills of a good leader, a great citizen, and a strong community builder, and traits such as empathy, courage, and a cool head under pressure, all of which are required for a life on the ocean. The NSMV program, introducing purpose-built ships designed to train the mariners and leaders of the 21st century, reflects the core directives that I have seen in our curriculum and culture in Castine. There are many people who have worked tirelessly to bring this program to life, but none more so than Madam Secretary Chow. 8 years ago, she was the driving voice behind a fleet of purpose-built ships. Together with Senator Susan Collins, they made that dream a reality. Secretary Chow's career is marked by historic leadership as the first Asian American woman appointed to a president's cabinet in America's history. Her decades of service advancing transportation, labor, and the maritime industry are extraordinary. Through her foresight, the NSMV program was established and reflects what Maine Maritime Academy stands for: service, leadership, and a consistent dedication to our community, big and small. Secretary Chow has demonstrated that the best way forward is together, and, like on the water, we find our strength when we row as one. Now, if the distinguished speakers on the dais would please stand and face the ship, it is my distinct honor to introduce the 18th U.S. Secretary of Transportation and the 24th U.S. Secretary of Labor, the Honorable Elaine Chao.
I name this ship State of Maine, and may she bring fair winds and good fortune to all who sail on her.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. At this time, distinguished guests from both countries will exit first for their next engagement. Once they have departed, the doors will close briefly and reopen in approximately 5 minutes for the ship tours. When the doors reopen, guests wishing to join the ship tour are asked to proceed directly to the tour area. Access to other areas is not permitted. Shuttle buses to the main gate will begin operating in 30 minutes. Please note, walking to the gate is not permitted. Shuttle service is required. If you are not touring the ship, we invite you to remain seated and comfortable until shuttles are ready. A further announcement will be made when boarding begins. Thank you for your understanding, and we hope you enjoyed the festivities. Thank you.